Hi everyone. Today's Tuesday, and so it is time for a Quick Tip Tuesday. And today's quick tip is for anybody who has a student who is using an AAC device that is not as programmable, and you could still do this with that. But if they're using the picture exchange communication system, or if they're using a point board or something like this, or any kind of manual communication system, and you have a student who has a hard time hearing no, or has a hard time not perseverating, then this tip is for you. So there's a really easy way. It's very tempting when students continue to ask for the same thing over and over and won't take no for an answer. And it's really, really tempting at that point to take their communication device away so they can't communicate. But if you think about it, these are their words, and I can't, sorry, my dog has decided to join us. Um, we can't take away their words, and if they were a student who was verbal, we would have to deal with it. So this is just a really quick tip. If you are using, these are communication boards that I have in my store. These are laminated. Put an X over the things that are not available, or an X over the things that maybe they've had enough of them and they can't have more. So these are laminated, so I just used a dry erase marker and set it up that way. And so then it's easy to erase it and go back. It's actually a wet erase marker so that he can't erase it. And so you can see this is a games board, and move it over here. We don't have the who's there or who is it app. We don't have, I don't want to play video games. We're not going to do bowling, and we don't have the chutes and ladders. Something's missing from chutes and ladders. So these are all of his choices. So if I'm just using a choice board, I can also let him see what choices are available by just crossing them out. That doesn't mean you won't still request them, but it means you're giving him a visual cue that shows him that's not an option. Now, if you're not using dry erase cards, if you're not using laminated types of systems, use a Post-it note or just a piece of paper. And so this is just a bigger version of the same thing. Let's say you're doing cooking at home, and you know that we're not making something that has frosting, but you're working with a student who really likes to frost things, and so she frequently asks for that. And so in order to let her see frosting isn't an option, I've just covered it up with an X on a Post-it note. And then I can easily change it for other times that we'll have it available. So maybe she's asked for it twice and she can't have it anymore. So this tells her that's not an option right now. So it's just a really simple tip to customize some communication tools for students to help them understand what their options are, but not take away their voice. She can still point at frosting. She could take the Post-it note off, and that's a lesson that we work on. Nope, frosting is not available. Sorry, choose something else. So we can work on accepting no as an answer, which is important for a lot of our students. So remember that students that are using communication devices, that these are their voice, and we can't take the voice away from a student who is verbal. So we wouldn't want to do that with a student who is not. So we don't want to take away their pictures. But we can give them visual cues about what it is that they can and can't have when they ask for it. We just can't prevent them from asking for it. We can just teach them with our outcome. So that's my quick tip for today. It'll be on my YouTube channel if you want to send it home to families. This may be one that you guys are pretty familiar with as teachers, but a lot of families it's going to be a new idea too. And so it's a really good way to approach this whole topic of keeping the communication access going. Thanks guys. Have an amazing Tuesday, and I'll see you again next week.